BTFU.
All right, welcome back to another week of No Rules NRL, and we've got the Wood back on the couch.
Wood's back.
The senior citizens.
Yeah, senior citizens. Had a freshen up, week off.
Gus Brothers back.
Carl's brother's back.
How are you, Gav?
How'd he go? How'd he go,
I'm all right,
guys,
mate.
Last week?
He was good.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
I
He's
actually
very
thought
good.
he's better than the one on the couch.
You're sitting pretty close to me, be careful.
That's coming
Mate, you
from
gave
bloke
it to
who's
me
been
the week
demoted
that I
once.
wasn't here.
Pardon?
What about the week I wasn't here? You gave it to me.
Didn't what we said?
Oh, he smashed me.
What
Said,
we did?
yeah, out of here. He's gone.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might.
What
have.
happened? No one listened.
He didn't tip the
I'm
Tigers.
back.
You know.
I'm good, mate. Yeah, going well, mate. Had a big week.
Big week.
Another big week.
What
yeah.
about you, Natty?
What?
Big week? What's happening?
New job.
Yeah,
Working on the Sydney ferries.
that's good.
Back to working 12-hour days. Big shock to the system.
Wow. Have you had a shift?
Went from working 3-hour days to 12-hour days.
So you've had a shift?
I've done a week. Did 60
week.
hours last week.
How's it been?
Body was feeling it.
Ooh.
Wearing work boots.
Think of all the cash, mate. All the moolah.
Overtime.
Yeah.
Overtime. Love
Beautiful.
that. All right, let's kick off with the big seven. Who are your Origin bolters? I'll kick off with one. Dylan Edwards.
Wow, that's big. Over Teddy. You're Rooster man.
Yeah. It could
My
be their
wife would be
vodka-
happy, you thinking that. She hates Teddy.
I love Teddy, but
I think Teddy could be a past it.
could be past it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. Obviously, the whole Roosters team's not in form. Edwards played, just watching that game, Edwards played enormous. His work rate's huge. I don't know if Teddy's having to do too much and he's sore or what's going on, but
No, Brad
I don't-
Fiddler sticks strong with his
Yeah.
team. Usually he's the captain. I don't know. I don't think they'll drop him for that first one.
no.
I like your tip. I like
yeah,
it too.
Edwards.
It's good.
He could be there at some stage, game 2 or 3 potentially, especially
Wouldn't
depending
be
on how
surprised,
that.
yeah. I agree
Yeah.
with you, Mace.
Ola Kawatu for me still.
Yeah.
I still think he's got that presence about him to be a state of origin player. He's tough. Just a real dominant edge player, strong. You get the players around him that he needs, you're probably good for 1 or 2 tries.
Yeah.
So he's my bolter.
2 good picks.
Yeah. What about you?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Edwards.
Okay. All right. Point number 2. Dragons rebuild. They finally got rid of the coach. Who do you think's going to be the coach? Who would you go for?
I'll go for Riles.
Yeah. For what purpose?
He's come from that Roosters club.
That proven system.
Proven system. I think the players would respect him. He's a good guy. And the other guys, I don't know Flanagan, I don't know Haslam, I don't know Young. But for me, I'd go with Riles. Because I know him.
Yeah, well, he's been under the system too, the Rooster system, the Melbourne Storm system, and you see what coaches have come out of that with Fitzgibbon.
Yeah.
You've got the Newcastle coach, you've got Seabold. They've all come out of either the Melbourne or Rooster system.
Yeah.
So Riles has probably got the pedigree there.
Credential.
Yeah, it's credential.
They've been talking about him for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, they have. And look, the only other one I think Flanagan. I mean, why isn't Flanagan getting a head coaching role? Is this a hangover still? From,
He might be happy with what he's doing.
No,
Yeah.
I think I have a feeling he wants to coach again.
He'd be my first pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's at Manly and terrific as an assistant coach, but he's a head coach.
It's a lot easier flying under the radar as an assistant coach. Jimmy Dimmick's done it for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Flanagan's won a premiership. So
So
these
Jimmy
are,
Dimmick, but not coaching.
No. That's right. Yeah, I think the rebuild, though, with Saints at this stage, they've got to really concentrate on their young blokes. We spoke before
Yeah.
about, you were talking about Ben Hunt.
Do you keep him next year? If he was wanting to go, would you let him go?
Who's they going to have to replace him? Who's coming through to replace him?
That's a
Well,
great question.
Depends what they got coming through.
But do you do a
Sullivan?
complete rebuild? Is that
I've been watching Sullivan for a long time come through SG Ball, and he was a good footballer.
Yeah.
They won the comp that year with
Yeah.
him at the helm.
Is he
at the-
ready to
in
be
the
at the
halves?
helm there?
Well, he scored-
Is he mature? Do you know him enough
He
to...
scored 2 tries 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Look, and that changed their whole game. Now, when he runs the ball, he is electrifying. So he's got to probably just take control of that team
Yeah,
when he
that's the
gets
thing.
back in.
Is he seasoned enough or mature enough to take control?
Oh,
I'm sure the
well,
Hunt runs a show down there.
Well, look at Ilias. Look at all these young kids now playing.
What
you've
about-
got a heap of them playing in the halves. Katoa up at Redcliffe.
Yeah, but Ilias
gotta
has
give him a
got
shot.
Walker there. So he hasn't
He's got an
really-
all-star
he's
side
got-
already.
But he's got someone that's seasoned and been there for ages that everyone respects. When you lose that senior halfback,
Yeah.
right, is Sullivan got the makeup to fill in there and fill those shoes?
What are we looking at with the Dragons, though? Are we looking at a quick fix now, or are we looking at a long term to build that team?
Like I can't see him making a grand final. Definitely not this year and not next year.
No, I can't even see them making top 8 at this stage for the next 2 or 3 years. Maybe they've got to build, because they've gone down the path of getting one player or 2 or 3, top line players. It's not working. They've really got to build around the nursery they've got, grow, and just be patient. So get a young coach like Riles in there that gets a 5-year deal. Be patient with the kids they got, build them through. Yeah,
Agree.
and maybe get a couple of just hard heads in the forwards. Real smart footballers in the forwards.
Follow a Dolphins model.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
It's worked.
Yeah. They've got
You've
good
seen
young
it's worked
kids.
already. Definitely.
Look at the fullback, Sloan. Terrific player.
Mm-hmm.
Amon.
Yeah.
Really good footballer. These are all good footballers. You've got to keep
There's
them.
definitely talent there.
Yeah.
But it's just it's not working at the moment.
There's been plenty of sides with plenty of talent that just haven't gelled.
Yeah.
On paper, some sides should just be winning the comp, and they're not.
Where does Hunt go if he does go? If you're a betting man, where would you? Oh, here we go. Yeah, sorry, Roosters.
If you had
Wait,
to put a market up, what price would it be going to Roosters? Give us a top 5 market where he goes.
Could you go the Bulldogs?
Yes.
Bulldogs would have to be up there.
a good call.
They've got to be a big chance. They need that
They've still
second
got some
half.
money. Yeah, Gus
Already spoke to him. Gus has already spoke to him. I saw an interview where Gus.
Question is, he's getting older. He hasn't got that long to go.
How old is he?
He's 33, is he?
Is he that old?
31,
32,
32,
yeah.
something like that.
He'd be around
31's
that.
all right.
Yeah,
I think he's about, if he's 32, like 33?
33.
Yeah, 33. So he hasn't got
Good
long
work, Tommy.
left.
Yeah,
He's come good, Tommy.
Stats man.
I love it.
Sitting over there in the corner with
From
his
the
hands in
above-
one
from
hand in his
above
pocket.
again.
Yeah.
One hand in your pocket, one hand on the phone. You really looking at stats? What are
I'm
you
wondering
looking
where
at?
the hands in the
Weirdo.
pocket.
Put the camera on him. Look at him. Old Boris Batinoff in the corner.
Oh, please.
No, seriously, wherever he goes, he's going to try and win a premiership.
Yeah.
So can he win one at the Bulldogs?
Is he he's a Queenslander? Would he go back to Redcliffe?
But you're going to win
Is
a
that
premiership
an
there?
option?
I can't see him win a
Is he going to win a
premiership.
premiership at the Dogs? No.
No.
Rooters,
Bruisers, yeah.
big chance.
We did the same thing with Cronk.
Yeah. Well, your mate Politis, he'll probably pluck
We can
pluck
fit
some
around
Round
dollars,
paper bag.
pluck some dollars out from
Yeah, I saw
somewhere.
that.
Eh?
You see him in his boat, Sydney Harbour. That'd be nice.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I think Bulldogs would likely be a chance of signing, but that's the thing. He'd want to go somewhere where he can win a comp.
Well,
Yeah.
but then again, he's looking at sitting. Does he stay at St George? He's not going to win it there. So anywhere's a
Yeah.
better hope of him winning.
Could
a
he go?
comp.
Could he go to your Tigers?
That's a good one too.
It's not a bad one.
They got the cash.
Only if they were to free up Brooks, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They've got to free up Brooks. So at this stage, I don't think they
Would you
can
do a
free him
swap if you were the Tigers coach? Would you do a swap now?
up. What about
Ben
the
Hunt every day of the
Mate,
week.
can you tell the old man to get his hand off my shoulder? Honestly, you are weird.
You're older than me.
You're weird.
Fuck.
You're weird. Fair
You
dinkum.
should think yourself lucky that I'm caressing your neck like that.
Jesus.
Where is your
Oh,
neck?
my God.
What's it?
See,
Huh?
I'm
Where
getting
is
the
that neck? It's funny,
heebie-jeebies.
chin's no neck.
Oh, Bill Collins.
We're at Checkers. Just relax.
God.
Special episode.
Garth wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. All right, let's move along. Point 3. Have the Broncos cemented their credentials as a top 4 side, even though they lost?
No, I think they have. Yeah, I think the only thing that concerns me is the state of origin period.
Yeah.
How many? I think they may get a bye in that state of origin period, which
Yeah.
I'll need. But they could lose 6 or 7 good young players. out of that side, and 3 of them in the forwards. So
Yeah, and key
Payne
forwards.
Haas gone, Carrigan's
We've seen
gone,
how important Haas is to that
Flegler's
side.
gone.
Flegler.
Yeah, so
But they on that performance on the weekend, they lost Reynolds early. They showed that they're a genuine.
absolutely,
They've got some serious talent.
they're a
on that
top
side.
4 side. No
I think
doubt
the
about
best
it.
thing that happened to them was getting touched up by the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think it just toughened them up. They come out, they look like a different side since they got beat there.
Yeah, I think we said that, even when they played Penrith in that first round, they looked a different side to what they've looked over the years. They look more steely. They look like they want to win football games now.
I think they've got the perfect thing that you mentioned just before is they've got that wise halfback and they've got the kids around him. They've got a good mix where, yes, there's a lot of youth, but they've still got a couple of older heads in the team that are just directing the ship. I think it's very important.
I'm loving that Herbie Farnworth.
Great feet.
Isn't he a good player?
Great feet. He's big too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
tall.
good footballer.
Rangy. Good player.
And he's gone next year. Redcliffe.
Massive
Unfortunately,
signing.
that's
Huge
huge.
signing.
Yeah.
Can Penrith top 4? You still?
I'm still look. Penrith looked awesome last week. They surprised me. They got a couple of young blokes that surprised me that I was a little bit iffy on, but I stick solid. I have to stick.
You're still sticking.
I think they're going to be. I have a chance of not of have an egg on my face, but I'm sticking solid.
At the moment, for me, I think it's South and Penrith.
Yeah,
At the moment,
I'm buying into Penrith.
I'm buying
after
the
last
more and
week.
more. I just have a feeling. I think I said at the start of the year. I have a feeling they're going to be a little bit like Melbourne of the last 10 years. They're going to just be able to start replacing, and I think they're going to build to peak. Look, South look like they're peaking right now. That could be the only other issue.
That's a concern. But, you've got players that are standing up now. Sorensen, I thought he was really good on the weekend. And I hadn't really heard of him before this year. You probably can say who's his dad? Was it Kurt Sorensen or one of those boys?
His uncle.
His uncle? Yeah. Good on you.
Cousin.
But I think the other one that made a difference was Lulai. He was brilliant.
That was by far
He's
his best
peaking
game all
at the
year.
right time there.
Yeah. He made a real difference on the
He said,
weekend.
"I want that number 6 jersey," didn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he'll get it.
Yeah. All right. Number 5. Are the Cowboys back?
Look, I think the first show that we did, I said that the Cowboys would be in my top 4, and they were going that bad. It can't be. I was thinking there's something wrong here. Now this finally kicked. I think they'll put a fair few wins on the board.
I was probably the first to say they were one-hit wonders, and the way they played in the first 6-7 rounds, that sort of was backed up, that comment. But watching them play the Roosters a couple of weeks ago, Magic Round,
Yeah.
I just saw a switch flick on for them. Their defence, and defence is going to win you a lot of football games in the NRL. Their defence was unbelievable. That's the best. And Roosters, I don't think Roosters have been the same since. That's wounded them big time, that one game.
There's definitely some issues there. We spoke about that.
Yeah.
All right, next point. Can the Raiders make the final, make an impact in the final, shall I say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
I
they've
think
got
I
to
said the week before.
They've got to make the
that they
eight.
went on their run. This is back. The other thing, it's back week 5
Yeah.
since they've lost a game.
6 straight, isn't it?
Well, including the bye. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Manly this week, it's a good game for them to win down in Canberra. Cold, sleet, snow.
And they did knock off Brisbane. Like,
Yeah.
up there, went up
Yeah.
and did it, and they've just been on a run.
Yeah,
I
I
know
don't
they
think
haven't
we-
had the hardest games, but
We didn't really sort of touch on that game that they won that Brisbane when they beat Brisbane. So the form guide's not too bad, is it? Really?
Not too bad, no. It's good.
all right. Is point 6, is Kalen Ponga officially back? I know
Could
it's
be.
been one game, but fuck, he's impressive.
Yeah, he looked good.
That's the old Kalen, wasn't it? Yeah,
That's-
he was dynamic.
Did someone tell him there's a Maroons jersey about to be put on?
Absolutely, and he's got some pressure.
Yeah.
You know, you've obviously he's not going to get the 5'8" spot with Munster there, and the fullback spot's up for grabs at the moment. So there's a couple of players that have been playing pretty well. The old
Well,
Hammer.
I still think he's a
Hammer's
fullback. He's
been
not a
very well.
5'8". I think he's still at best when he's at fullback.
Yeah.
All right, and the last point, point 7. Could this be the year that a team wins from outside the four?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, good chance.
Yeah. From 8th.
Well, I don't know about
I
8.
don't know about that, but Melbourne Storm, depending if they end up 5th or 6th, they're a massive chance because they can do anything that side.
Yeah.
There's not one. Look, obviously, the last 2 years, it was just like Penrith, rubber stamped. If you didn't, I don't think there's one team as much as I think Penrith and South are probably that little. They've bridged a little gap. I think every team has holes, a lot more holes than what teams in the past have won to win the comp.
Well, depending on how Brisbane go too, they might drop out of the top 4.
Yeah.
But then they may be really coming home strong after the State of Origin series. So that's where I think they could drop out of the 4, but really come home strong in the finals and maybe end up 5th going into the finals.
Yeah.
And the same with the Storm. I think they're the two teams for me at the moment. But no one else
So
is
we're in
doing
agreement
anything.
that it could happen this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it's been a very funny season, isn't it?
Yeah, it has, but probably one of the best seasons I've ever seen. This season for me is by far the best season I've ever seen.
It's pretty good.
And when you're sitting there on the couch watching 8 games a week, it means something's going right for the game itself. So, yeah.
It's either that or you've got too much spare time.
Or you're single.
I'll tell you what it is, mate. It's that bloody competition we're in every week.
Oh, you know.
I just sit
It
around.
is. It's good. It's good fun,
kill
isn't it?
It's addictive.
the best.
It's very addictive. All right, let's go move on to the preview. We've got Broncos against Penrith, missing Reynolds. $3.10 the Broncos, $1.37 Penrith, 8.5 start. Can they give them a shake without Reynolds?
I think Penrith will return favour this time.
Yeah.
They were Penrith probably the first start of the year. Just come off a loss against in the World Cup or the World Champion. What is it? What do they call it? World Championship game against St Helens, was it?
Challenge Cup.
Yeah, and that was a tough game the week before, and then they had to back up with Broncos. I think they'll return favour off the back of what they did last week.
What do you think now?
I can't see him doing it without Reynolds, but I don't think it'll be a walkover.
Yeah.
Try it.
So it's a no-bet game for you, by the sounds
For
of
me,
it.
I wouldn't go near it.
No.
No bet for you. All right. St George Illawarra, new coach, $2.75 against the Roosters, $1.45, 6.5 start.
You'd like to think the Roosters are going to step up this
Look
week.
Jeez.
I've got Drew Hutchison in half, and can I actually say I actually like it.
Yeah.
Because one thing he can do is control that side, and it allows Kiri to run free. It'd be nice having Manu in the centres. He's not there. I definitely think they've needed someone to just control the side, and hopefully it allows Kiri to play a bit of free-flowing footy.
How many times, though, do you see a team that are wounded, lost their coach, and bounced back with the interim coach? And
It
win?
has happened. I don't think the stats as good as people think, but it has happened.
Mace, are we happy with the Roosters' form, though, and the way they're playing at
Of
the
course
moment?
not, but are you happy with the Dragons?
I think they're lost. Yeah, well, look, they only lost by 1 point, 6 weeks ago against them. So I give them a small hope. I think the young blokes might play pretty well this week.
So what, you want to be on the Dragons straight out?
Yeah, let's get back to it. Can we get back to that one?
If you'd like, we can revise it.
We can revise it.
All right, we'll revise
Let me
it.
think about
I'll
it.
ask you at the end.
Yeah.
What about you, Natty? You got an opinion?
No.
South Sydney $1.37 against the Parramatta Eels, 3.10, 8.5 start.
Yeah, I can't see Parramatta doing anything.
Do they put a cricket score on?
I think it'll be a close game.
Okay. Could you back Para with the start?
No.
No.
No,
Have they got issues at the moment, Para?
strange one, isn't it? It's a weird team at the moment.
They
haven't lost any players.
They're very hot and cold. When
Yeah,
they're
they're
on,
hot and
they're on,
cold.
and when they're off, they're off.
Yeah.
They've lost Lane again.
Yeah.
8 weeks.
Yeah,
Torn hamstring.
he is definitely a loss to that
Big
side.
loss.
Yeah,
big loss.
Yeah, so
Like the South Juggernaut is just on fire
Yeah.
at the moment.
I think
South Bank.
Moses is he back this week? Moses, after his head knock? I think he
think
is.
so.
Yeah, so.
All right, no bet again.
No.
Cronulla Sharks $1.35 against the Knights $3.25. Got to cover 8.5. What happens here, boys?
Do the Knights stay on a roll? Their confidence up.
Wow. I liked how they played in that second half last week.
Yeah.
Sharks at home.
Jeez, they were good.
Sharks at home.
All
is a
the
big
Barley boys
plus.
came back. It was only
Or one of them.
It was only one.
Yeah.
But I just liked their second half discipline and the way they played. Bonga played really well.
Yeah.
If he plays well again, they're a chance.
Yeah.
So have I got a bet from you, Gav?
I'm going to give it to you now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Newcastle.
Straight
Actually
out or with the
smoky.
start?
I like them straight out. The 375 was it?
$3.25.
$3.25?
We'll give a little odds boost for you.
I like them at 325.
All right. What about you?
Yeah,
No, I'd stay away from that game.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next game. Gav's Dolphins against Melbourne Storm. $2.75 the Dolphins. $1.45 the Storm. Dolphins at home. 6.5 start.
I like the 6.5 start.
6.5's good.
I really like the
6.5 's good.
6.5 start.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can see them
They've
holding
had
on here.
they've had the bye,
Yep.
and most teams off the bye are coming back pretty bigger and stronger every week. So
I think at the early in our shows, you said you thought that might have been a risk coming
Yeah.
off the bye.
I thought so. I thought early in the season it would be,
Yeah.
but it hasn't. It's
No, it was
been
opposite.
completely the opposite, which is strange for me because you just see teams getting on a roll and getting the fitness up that they need,
Yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden you have a bye.
So what have
And
we
you got 2
learned?
weeks off.
Barley's good.
Barley's good.
Barley's good. And
That's all tanks
and the
are good.
journos are even better.
Yeah, 100%. Bet for you then that?
No. I can't really see a solid bet all week for me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think it's a real hard round.
Tricky round. All right, Canterbury Bulldogs, $2 against the Gold Coast Titans, $1.80. 1.5 start.
God, this could go any way again. This one.
Yeah.
I
why it's a hard round,
can't get a
Toss
gauge
a coin.
on any of these two sides.
They-
One week they could be playing out of their skin. Next week
Yeah.
they go in their shell.
One thing the Titans have is strike.
Yeah,
They've got some players that can really score a try, finish.
yeah.
But fuck, they just don't know how to tackle at times.
Yeah.
They're my style of footy.
They got some good kids though, haven't they?
They've got some great kids.
Real
I
good
love that
kids.
Cunt Pereira. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan.
he's a good player.
Yeah.
Fast.
All right, and Canberra Raiders against the Flying Manly Sea Eagles, $1.55 Canberra. $2.45 Sea Eagles, 4.5 start.
I'll go for Canberra.
And did they cover the line at the 4.5 at
Yes.
home?
I don't see an upset here.
Could that be the bet, covering the
That's
4.5?
yeah, I'd say
There we
Canberra.
go. We've got him at
Canberra.
There you
Got him? Wow.
I'll go for Canberra.
Okay.
one. And what are you doing here, Gav?
I can't see Canberra losing at all.
Yeah.
I can't bet on that game. I think the only two that I can see is Newcastle, and we'll go back to the top of the list, the one I held off on at
St.
275, St George.
The St George, yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be my double.
That's your double? You're on the double roughie.
Yeah, the roughie this week.
St George and the Knights.
Yeah,
Nice.
very
Beautiful.
rough.
Very rough.
Very rough. But did you see I got a horse up?
You did get a
A
horse.
little
did.
tip the other day.
Here we
Good
go.
mail.
We almost got through an episode without him giving himself a rap. I thought we're going to
Wasn't your
get there.
selection, that was just mail. Someone else give you.
Well, the bloody one of the shareholders,
enough.
the owners,
Yeah.
Yeah.
said it was. He said it was a good thing.
There you go.
But I'm sure no one got on at 375 when I told them to get on. They probably
No, I
got on
think
at
a few, but
210.
I think Jay
A few
did.
blokes in the group.
Oh,
mate.
good.
Yeah, a few did.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on
Anyway,
fire.
Good work.
that's about
Let's see
all I
if we get
did
this
for the
double up
week.
this week.
The old tries. How'd you go on the tries this week?
No good.
Yeah.
Come second
Won-
in the horse racing,
Can't
though,
second
didn't
in the
you?
horse racing. I won it 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago, so
What about that Joe? Who's that Joe?
Big,
mate?
Big Joe Reset.
Fair dinkum.
King.
What a legend.
legend.
He got
Legend.
both.
Should get him on here.
He's in the
Should
Hall of
get him on
Fame.
here.
We will.
Yeah.
He'd be good.
The real estate
Couple of
mafia.
grand in the skyrocket.
Yeah, he's flying.
Good on
All
you.
right, well, that's another week of No Rules NRL. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next week.